Totally not my style, but it just goes to prove you can teach an old dog new tricks. Took some recollections, garland, Prima House, my Martha Stewart Heart Confetti Punch. Monica, who is Spring Chick 28, sent me these. Thank you, Monica. I love them. I'm using them over and over again. I splattered some red Rudolph Mr. Huey's on here. It doesn't look too bad, but usually whenever I put red splatters on a page, I feel like it looks like blood. And if you know my track record for scrapbooking, it could be blood. I don't know if any of you remember the time that I sat on my Fiskars scissors. Oh, that was ugly. Anyway, I just wanted the pictures to kind of hang like they were hanging from the garland. Here's a random, I think this came from the something moose, Joyous Moose or something on Etsy. They sell flare buttons. Look, there's one of those old Studio Calico American Crafts clothespins with holiday greetings on it. Using it. That's ancient. Studio Calico stars. These are little words, I think, by Teresa Collins. You probably can't find them. They're considered vintage by now, I'm sure, because they're years old. And some random stickers. This is Storytellers from Webster Pages. Love Webster's 12 by 12 alphabet sheets. And this is our Elf on the Shelf. Came to visit this year. It's the first time. I wish I would have done this when Nate was younger, but Lou showed up one Friday night in our bathroom sink, and you'll see he had Nate a new electric toothbrush, and he left a message to Nate using toothpaste. That killed me to do that. I felt so wasteful, but you know what? You can't take it with you, can ya? And that's exactly how Nate found him. The 5 represents the 5th of December. And it says, on the 5th of December, Lou showed up in the bathroom of our house. I wanted to try to use these stickers, so it's maybe not the journaling I would have put here if I wasn't trying to use the stickers. He introduced himself by leaving us a note in toothpaste. Nate wasn't really all that excited. In fact, he didn't want to read the book Lou carried all the way from the North Pole for us. When Nate found out Lou would have a few presents for him, he gave Lou a big old hug. Ta-da! So much for Elf on our Shelf, but Lou did make for some good photos. Here again, more Christmas layouts. You'll notice this is craft, but it's the wood grain paper. Once again, paperissues.com. This is the maple font by Thickers. These are from one of the 12 by 12 sticker sheets, as is this. These little flags, I forget who they're by, but again, they're probably considered vintage or antique by now. I've had them for years. They went perfect with my photograph. For me, I always base my embellishments and the colors from the photograph. I wish I could get away from that. I've watched some of you do layouts and the embellishments, the paper you use, it doesn't match the pictures at all. And it looks great, but I just can't do that. I know if I use complementary color that complement the pictures in the photograph, it'll be okay. But I never do it that way. This is Studio Calico. Here's some little embellishments. They did not have button thingies on the back, and I picked them up at Michael's. They are a Recollection brand. You guys might remember these banners from years ago, and this, once again, is from Webster's Pages. Sometimes I love myself a scripty font. you know, for the title. And it says, "They are my happy. Dear Santa, please read the note on back." I can't begin to even tell you how much I love these boys, Logan and Nate. I love when they're together. I love watching them play and talk. I mean, they're 8 and 10. And they don't fight or argue. They would do anything I ask them to do. They're just a true joy to have around. We don't get Logan as often as I wish. You know, Nate's here every weekend and that's good, but they're just so good together. I want them to know how much I love them. So the journaling wasn't enough. I put a letter on back, and I'll show that to you. I used the number 10 envelope and typed up. Yeah, I did type it just because I had so much to say. And put the letter inside here. So, I don't know, maybe in 80 years when I've kicked the can and I'm not here, they'll find that and read it and just know how much I appreciate them, how proud I am. These are two of the most gentle, smart, caring souls in the world. Now, I'm not just saying that because they're my grandkids, but because I would tell you they're mean as snot, but I still love them. But they truly are so caring and gentle, and I'll tell you some other stories as I show you the pictures. I would like to say I hope they always stay that way, but I don't know. We've had to rough them up because of bullying at school and people being mean. We've had to teach them, if somebody hits you, then you knock the crap out of them. I don't know when it started or where it started, but my family line, me, my son, my grandson, not so much my mother, and definitely not my dad, we're just sensitive. We're happy most of the time, not all the time. Believe me, we have our moments, and we just don't go out of our way to screw people. I don't know. So, I mean, we've had to tell these boys now, after telling them to play nice and share, now we have to tell them, if somebody touches you, knock the dog out of them. Ain't that sad? I'd love to tell you a few stories about situations and events with these boys. It would make you cry, I think. So maybe I'll do that one day when I'm prepared for the thumbs down. I started out by not being too happy with this layout. At several points, I wanted to just rip the picture off and start over. I would not put this in my favorite category, but I think it turned out okay. This is like one of those 12 by 12 sheets of snowflakes. Here's some glitter paper. It's from Die Cuts with a View glitter stack, which is really nice now. It's almost as good as the PAL by American Crafts. Not too much glitter comes off of this. There's a little shedding. You'll see these little file tabs are from Tracy, who is giddy for scrapbooking. I want to give away on her channel, and I love them. Thank you, Tracy. More of my little puffy stickers. I believe these are from Martha Stewart a couple of years ago. I hate the title. I hate that I used these stickers. It didn't show up, but what are you going to do? It's going in the album. It says, "Merry Christmas to you." This is chipboard. You probably knew that. And I forget where it comes from. I thought this little piece of tape right here just matched perfectly because I was trying to do the 1, 2, 3 on the mustard color, which is in my son's shirt, kinda. Once again, I'm using some of those old Brad's puffy sticker. Oh, and that's about it. Here's some chipboard. Not my favorite, but like this is one of those papers that have these in these embellishments or pictures on it. I always find it difficult to work with a paper that has like pictures on it or images. I cut out the part around here, so this is 12 by 12 red cardstock, and I cut out around the edges, did some faux stitching because I like to. I love to do the faux stitching with my Signo Uniball gel pen, but I don't seem to do it often anymore. It's you know, it's off trend, but I still like doing it, so I'm going to do it. Here's another layout I'm not overly crazy about, but it's going in the album. I used this little sticker, ancient. I mean, this was from Hobby Lobby, and I do remember picking it up. It is like 7 to 8 years old. I picked it up the first year I was scrapbooking. Talk about hoard. I've had it for 6 to 8 years. Anyway, I'm just saying this because I'm going to tell you something. It felt wonderful to use it. I feel like using up my stash. It's okay that I spend the money I do on scrapbooking. It's when I don't use the old stuff that I feel like I need to go on a spending freeze. My budget's tight right now. I have some changes going on in my life, and I just can't spend on scrapbooking like I used to. I miss it, but in all honesty, I've looked at some of the new lines, and I don't feel like there's anything out there so different from what I have in my stash. I used a doily under there and a layer of tissue paper and then pattern paper. Oh, and there's some tulle. It looks better in person, and it reads ornament, something that adds grace and beauty and is usually placed on a Christmas tree. I underlined usually because he's an ornament kind of. Here are some of those old tabs from like Pink Paisley. Oh, I made this one from my EK Success tab punch. Bunch of layers here. Tissue paper, vellum, tulle. I just really wanted to layer that up. I did a little more faux stitching because I like to do that. There's some doilies, brads, October afternoon. Remember these things? Years old, but still current if you ask me. It's a picture of Nate and Lou, and it reads, Lou is not just any old ornament, he's magic. Not my favorite layout, but I do love the picture, and it's going in my album. Here's another one of those layouts from a paper pad, and this and that was on the paper. Everything else I added. Doodlebug stickers. I cut out some white paper for the snow. These little Studio Calico wood banners are from my bestie. The stars are also Studio Calico. Now, I really have them layered up there, and I know a lot of people don't like too much layer when you put your pages in your album. I don't do that to every page that I make. So I feel like if there's some bulk to your scrapbook album, the world's not going to end. So I really like the layered look that's going on here. And over here, these are also Studio Calico. This is a mix of my mind's eye and somebody else, I forget who. You'll notice that Nate in the background is black and white, but the food is in color. I love to do that, and I do it using Photoshop Elements number 5. It needs to be updated, but for me, this is fine because it's like $50 to $100 to update. I can live with this. Trust me, it's very easy to do this. If anybody's interested in me doing a tutorial, I'd be glad to do so. Leave me a comment below. This reads, Booyah! Let me see your snacks for Santa. I did not like this in the beginning, but I was making myself use these pages, that have the pictures on them. I drew in the snow down here using a black marker with a real fine tip. I used poster paint pen by Sharpie to fill in this, but something else that's very good to use as a white pen is the like whiteout pens. Here's what it is. Look, it's a correction pen, like you white out things that you've typed, and you shake it up and use it on your scrapbooking. I've even did my journaling using this pen. Also, this is a nice heavy-duty white pen, totally different from the Signo Uniball. It will write bigger, but this was great to do the little circles. I put all the pictures and the color blocks on a black background, and away you go. Again, not my favorite layout, but it'll work. I have a bunch more layouts to share. I think this will be the last one for this video. Before I leave, I want to give a quick shout out. 2 of my all-time favorite layout makers in the entire world have come back and are doing YouTube videos again. One of them is Aren't You Glad? I'm telling you, she does, in my opinion, I feel, one of the top layouts, the best layouts on YouTube. She does amazing work, and she's just the cutest little sweetest thing too. I just love her videos. Welcome back, Arnie. Please go over and check out her videos. I don't think you'll be sorry. And my girl, I am sure she's my daughter that got mixed up at the hospital maybe when I had my son. I don't know, because he's kind of like me too, and I don't want to trade now because I'm attached to him. But anyway, Alex, Miss Crafterella, is back. I adore her. And when I first got on YouTube, these were 2 of the videos that probably created this insane, wonderful addiction that I have to YouTube crafty videos. Now, Alex, Nick, get Alex. Okay, hi Alex. Please do some layouts and cards. She does a great haul video, and listen, I ain't kidding. Okay, when she goes shopping, she has to need a wagon, but they're great hauls. But Alex, you gotta do some cards and layouts for me because they're wonderful. Anyway, Alex, who is Miss Crafterella, and aren't you glad? I'm so glad you're back. So, aren't you glad? Heck yeah, I am. Here's my last layout before I get my thumbs down. Anyway, this is Nate. Once again, I did the little Photoshop thing of blurring the background. The other one I didn't blur, but this time I blurred the background and made it black and white. American Crafts. Bits! Where's my bits? That's an inside joke for a few people. I'll leave a link on what stack these came from because it's a great Christmas stack. You'll see I cut the white paper, which is Basil Avalanche. I cut it, put this on the sides, but this is only about 2 inches wide because I'm not going to use that whole piece of paper when you can't see it back here. So I just cut off 2 inches, ran that glue down here and stuck it on. Studio Calico. Of course, this is Thickers, and I love this font here. I may even stick it in the down bar because I just love it. It's skinny and it has a lot of vowels and I like it. I run some stitching. I've been in a sewing mood. I ran some stitching around my color blocks. This is a phrase that was on a stamp I bought a few years ago. May you play in all the reindeer games. And I was in the deer mood this year. I bought so many deer stamps and I barely used them. So this was a way for me to use my deer stamps. And I just used Memento Dove Gray and stamped them out, cut them out, stuck them on here. I used some of the Precious, the dimensional tape on some of them, and shaded some of them using C1 and C3 Copic markers. I had a great time doing this layout. Why? Because I was doing things I like to do, like stamping, coloring, and sewing. Now, probably next week I'll be done with the sewing. My mood will change. Anyway, guys, I hope you like the layouts. I'm glad to be back. I'm not leaving. I can't, once again, real quick, I know I do this all the time. I ramble. I know that. I digress. I know that. And
one more time, thank you guys for the comments on my rant video. I was so touched. Listen, I'm not a crybaby. Only because I hate to cry. It don't fix anything, and your eyes get swollen, your head stops up, but I was pretty close to tears. I was so touched. That's the word, touched. Thank you. And I'll be back, because I got a bunch more layouts to share.
I hope y'all having a great week. It's Monday. I don't like Mondays. But I like you. Thanks. Bye. From me and Walter. No, this is Wanda. Bye, guys.